You're watching the Pomoco Don Rose Football Show right here on Fox 43. It's the 2010 Resurrection to Glory. Coach Rose, we want to talk about what happened after Morgan State.
Okay.
That was our last game of the season, and man, you've been busy.
Oh, without a doubt. I knew that concluded our season, and obviously, 5 and 6 was not nowhere near in the plans for the first year, but what it told me what I immediately have to do, and I knew to get that winning ways back that I'm going to have to kind of shake up and do some things differently. And so I started out with offense, and I don't know if you remember, we had a gentleman back in 2005, I think his last year, we were 11-0. And this same gentleman, we managed to be the leading team in the NCAA as far as points with 44 points, and we averaged over about 440 some yards total offense. And this gentleman's name was Fred Kice. And so the first thing I thought about, I said, well, I knew last year that our offense, was kind of struggling a little bit, and I think we averaged about 19 points. And I weighed it out. I had 19 points. I had 44 points. Which one do I want to come back? And so I gave Fred Kice a call, and he was ecstatic. And he's done a great job since he's been here. And he brought along with him 2 guys that was part of the staff that he was with before. And one was Charles Huff. Charles was at Tennessee State, but moved on to Maryland. Brought him back as an offensive line coach. And then we had Shannon Harris, who was a record-breaking quarterback at Tennessee State, and so he brought him back to work with the quarterback. And so with that alone, I knew that we're on the right track as far as offensively. And again, what I've done, my defensive coordinator, he left and went to University of Pittsburgh, and so I elevated Keith Koganis up from the linebacker to the defensive coordinator. And so right now, I got 2 guys that I trust, that I know are professional, and put the time in. So that was the first thing we did. Within 3 days after the season's over, those moves were made.
Fantastic. So whereas most coaches during that off season have to focus primarily on recruiting players, you actually had to go and recruit an entire coaching staff. You got a brand new coaching staff.
Without a doubt. I had to make sure that everybody kind of fits my philosophy, my style. I wanted guys that were teachers, that were educators, that can motivate and get the most out of it, and had a structure, had a plan. And so, by having my coordinators, right on the same page, I think that was the right direction. And, by way, we brought some other guys in. I think our defensive line coach, Delbert Calcett, came from University of Maryland, and kind of, elevated him because our coordinator had left for Pittsburgh. And then I elevated, the Van Hill, it's a DB coach, and I brought in Ray Lewis, one of our former players and GAs. And then on offensively, I think we kept, Steve Fields, he did a great job with recruiting, and I know I'm excited about the recruiting year, but he did. And then I elevated Mike Villagrana was a G. I elevated him to tight end. And so the biggest thing now is that these 11 guys, we've been working hard since January 12th, and like I said, I'm excited.
Well, you actually did a great job with your coaches, and so now you had to look at players because you had some key guys graduating, which is a great thing. That you got some good graduates out there, but you had some key positions to fill, particularly on the offensive line positions and some of your skill positions as well. Yeah,
well, starting off, with any good team, whether it's offense or defense, start off in the trenches. And so immediately I said, we need to bring in some guys that can help us immediately as far as certain areas. So we brought in 3 transfers. Rafael Vasquez, and he's from Tulane, and he was 6'6", 315-pound offensive tackle. Great job coming in there, and immediately filled in. Brought in another gentleman from Middle Tennessee, and he's done a great job, Jamal Lewis, and then we brought a transfer from Winston-Salem, Luckin. So, that started off, and I think we're going to be okay with that.
Fantastic. Now, that's the offensive side. Talk a little bit about your defensive side.
Defensively, again, same with the trenches. You want to make sure we're on point, and I think our go-to guy, Brandon Pegues, did a great job off season. I think he was second team, or first team All-MEAC, and second All-American, and so I think he's going to do well. And hopefully we're going to keep our fingers crossed with the inside, but I know we've got some guys there that's going to do a great job. I think the strength of our defense is really going to be our defensive backs, because we have a number of those guys coming back. So I'm excited about them, and Pellerin and Pelham, and so I'm feeling excited.
Well, there's actually one Pirate player whose pass has resulted in him being predicted to make a tremendous impact on the gridiron this season. We have with us on the football show today Julio Sanchez, who is that premier player who's already been picked by the MEAC to be the MEAC Defensive Player of the Year. Congratulations on that honor, first of all. What kind of, how do you feel about that?
Well, I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Now it's just, staying humble and living up to the conference and my expectations for this season.
Now you've been picked to be that Defensive Player of the Year only after 1 year of them checking you out, because you actually played at some other schools before you came to Hampton. Let's talk about that first year at Hampton.
Well, my first year, I had a good year, but I was still learning. I feel I get a lot better, still learning the system now with a year under my belt, knowing my teammates, but a lot of players come back. I think I should have a good season coming up.
So you're a middle linebacker. That's like, for folks that don't understand football that much, that's like being the quarterback on the defensive side, having to call the plays, know the players, and all those kinds of things. Talk about just that whole perspective that you have of the game and of the field. And as a matter of fact, why did you choose to be a middle linebacker?
Well,
what do you like about that position?
I just like running to the ball. I just like being a linebacker, going out there and calling the defense, getting everybody together. My main thing is learning the film, studying a lot of film, knowing what everybody else do. If they have a problem on the field, I get everything together. So it's really, I just was born into being a linebacker, to be honest. So I'm just trying to get better at it every day.
So you're almost like a coach on the field.
Yes, sir.
What kind of pressure does that provide for you, trying to be the player and somewhat of a coach on the field?
Well, it's a lot of pressure, but I just make sure I know what I'm doing. Just make sure I put extra time in the classroom and do everything so I can be the coach and know what I'm doing out there with the other players.
All right. What are some of your goals for this year?
To be honest, it's not really individual goals. I'm looking as a team. If we're winning together, I'm gonna do my part, and it's gonna help me also. So it's really a team trying to. I think we have a pretty good team this year. My goal is to win the conference, MEAC conference this year.
Fantastic. Now you're originally from Miami.
Yes, sir.
So how's Virginia?
It's new, but it's pretty good. I like it.
You've become accustomed to the area, to the team, to the philosophy?
Yeah, Coach Rose and them and all the coaches, when I first got in, they treat me like everybody else, so everything went smooth and it's pretty good. I like it out here.
Now, you got a new head, as far as the defensive side, you got a new coach, and so, familiarity, guys will probably be looking to you quite a bit this year.
Yeah, but the defense pretty much is the same thing at hand. We got Coach Goganis. He was my linebacker coach last year, so it's not a big transition. Now it's just after that year, everybody came back, making sure everybody's on point and get everything right.
Well, fantastic. Julio, we are looking forward to some great live action that you're going to provide for us. Just ahead, Pirate fans, friends, and foes, this is the place you can come to rev up before the game or wind down after the game during this season. There's still more to come here at the Pomoco Down Rose Football Show.
Our ability to outcompete other countries will be shaped not just in our boardrooms, not just on our factory floors, but in our classrooms, in our schools, at universities like Hampton.
Introducing Hampton U Online, the first HBCU to offer online degree programs of this caliber. Visit Hampton University's virtual campus today at huonline.hamptonu.edu. We're available to assist you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 877-633-9150.
The right team, the right players, the will to win your trust. Trust in the products we sell, trust in the service we provide, and trust we'll give you the best price and the best value. The team is Pomoco. The products, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan, Lincoln, Mercury, and used cars of all makes. Guaranteed service for all models provided by factory-trained technicians. And we've won the trust of generations. Let us win yours. Pomoco, the power of more. Of course.